Hello everyone, it's me Laura from the Papered Soul. Welcome back to my channel. I am getting ready to work a little more in my journal that we have just started. This is starting a new journal. And it was inspired by a journal group that I did a journal event for a group of ladies. And I want to say hello to all of them in this episode. So a big shout out to Linda, Candace, Joyce, Julia, Karen, Renee, and Tanis. I hope you all are doing okay, and I hope you're getting a chance to work on your journals that we started at that journal event. So this has inspired me to make this type of journal. It's actually going to be my design team project for Artymaze, and I'm using her beautiful birds kit as a base for this journal. As I've tried to kind of work on it, the one thing that has struck me is I kind of also want to include, because you know you kind of can't have birds without butterflies and dragonflies and all of these wonderful winged things. So that is also what I'm going to be including, and I've just been inspired to do that as I've kind of worked and gathered my ephemera and pretty images and stuff like that. I also went on ahead and printed out the quotes. I fixed them. I just need to trim them out a little bit more. So if you watched my second part 2 video, this was the layout of this page that we did. I went on ahead and fixed that quote size so that it would fit this little journal spot that I like here. So that's what I did in the last video. I kind of gathered and showed you how I put all this together and where I got the images and things like that. And so I went on and fixed that, and I've got my little butterfly down here that as I tuck this in, I'll just scooch that little corner under that little butterfly, and that will kind of keep this from flopping up. So that just kind of keeps that down nice and neat. So this kind of turned into a butterfly spread. Here's the first page. It's an Artymaze from the kit, from the beautiful birds page. And then this pretty image here of some ledger paper. And then this is the layout there. So if you want to see me do that, that's in my part 2. This is part 3, so welcome. Again, I've got all these. As I go through, I will be able to start putting those in, and they're on coffee dye paper so you can see the big difference. Still kind of gonna be working on creating what I'm gonna put in this lovely little pocket that I made by cutting out one of her pages down. And so I'm gonna work on this today. I've already gone ahead and I've taken one of her pretty pages, which would be this one here. So you can see, I just cut it down. This was probably about right there. And I made a little tag out of it, a little journal card. You could cut the edges and make it look like a tag. I might just leave it like this. And then also, I believe this was like from Artymaze's one of her freebies that she offers up in her Facebook group called Artymaze and Friends, and every so often she offers up some freebies. So thank you, Andrea, and I thought that would be a cute little journaling spot. I did get, when I was printing it off, some ink from my printer got on that, and all I normally will do, just as a tip, is I'll take some gesso and I'll just dab a little bit on that, and then keep dabbing until you can't see it anymore. And then once it's dry, you can take your vintage photo and ink and just kind of dab it to color the white. But that would make a nice little journaling spot, and it's on a printout of some, I think it's French ephemera. So that's going to be there. And then I'm going to make an element out of a little journaling spot out of this. Now this is a bird image from, this is from Christy Art, I think. Yes, Christy Art. And so it's little bird images. And I thought that was cute. So I'm going to trim this out and put it on some coffee dye paper and add an extra little journaling spot there. So we'll do that. And then this is going to be my pretty, I've got me a little belly band. So while I have this out, I've already previously done my backing so that it's going to be nice and, you know, sturdy for me to tuck things down in. And I'm actually going to just do my little punching. And so let me just punch my top and my bottom. I'm going to try to be pretty quick about these videos because what I'm doing is I'm just trying to pop in and do like a little craft with me, journal with, you know, make a journal with me, and I'm just showing you what I'm doing, you know, on my little layouts, and to show you how eventually you just kind of keep creating away, and eventually you've got your little journal just filled up and nice and chunky. And we're just taking, you know, little page layouts at a time. It's what I'm mostly trying to do. I might have to do some skipping around, depending on how I've been inspired. So this particular page has already been edge punched. So I'm going to take that little paper clip off. And I'm going to basically kind of center this. And I like to leave a little bit of the edging there so you can see that, you know, you could do it either way, but I like to see the whole edge punch there. And you still have enough room here, you know, right here, so that you're not getting into your fold line. And for the belly band, and to be able to put things down in like that, we're just going to put a glue down this, and a glue down this little side, and a glue down this side. So we're going to just turn it on the back and put a little strip of glue on each side, and I'm going to try to, like I say, keep that little stream of glue nice and kind of thin. And I'll just kind of tap it out. And then another little stream there. Not too thick and not too wide with it, because I don't, you know, I want as much space to tuck things down in behind it as possible. And this has some script on it, so I want to kind of make sure that I'm getting it pretty lined up in the right direction. Okay, and so I'm just going to press that down. And I will just kind of rub and roll off any extra glue that kind of pops out. That's kind of the quality characteristics of the Fabri-Tac or Fabri-Fix glues. Okay, so then that will dry, and this was some wonderfully fun coffee dyed paper, copy paper that I did on one of my little baking trays, and it left me with a bunch of fun polka dots. So that's what I have there. And this actually needs to be inked, so I'm going to go on and do that. Let's prep this one. Okay, so what I was wanting to do with this, I'm going to cut it out first, and then I will glue it onto some coffee dye paper and create an extra journaling spot out of it. Now you could turn this into just a journal card if you want to. So that's what you can do. You can do all kinds of things with all, like I say, every page layout, there's gobs of ideas, 1,000,001 ideas of things you can do. I mean, instead of doing a belly band, you could have used this as a tuck spot, you know. And so then I could have had that sitting there, you know. So there's just all kinds of things that you can do. But what I wanted to do, and I am going to go ahead and ink this before I glue it onto some coffee dyed paper. But what I'm going to do is have it adding extra journaling to it, and then I'm going to have it kind of hanging out of the pocket, and I'll show you what I'm talking about once I get that created here. So what we'll do is I'm just going to take an actual piece of coffee dyed paper, and you know, my lines, I get lines on a lot of mine. You can kind of, they're very faint, but you can see them where I was doing the baking. And so I make sure my lines are in the right spot. And then what I do, I did not bring my cutter in here. Well, I might could work it out. Let me see. I know what I'm gonna do. So I don't have to worry about that. I'm gonna do my little, get me another little punch. I like pretty edge punches. Let me get it. Let's see. This one's pretty right here. Okay, it's a Martha Stewart. And I think what I'm going to do, since I'm going to be gluing this here, I'm going to go ahead and edge punch this entire bottom of this page. And that way I'll know how far up to glue this. And then I'll have kind of a decorative edge for anything else that I can use it for. So I'm gonna do this off camera. You've seen me punch before, but I just don't want to get all the little pieces on my desk. So I'm gonna hold it over my trash can. So now you can see my little lacy edge there. There's some neat things that you can do when you do this. You could actually come along and cut this at the top a little above the design, and then you could like glue a pretty lacy edge to, you know, to trim out some things like your billy band or your elements and stuff. But in this case, I'm going to be gluing this here on this edge. So let me just put the journal off to the side. And I'm just going to be gluing this close to the design, but just right above it, so it will look nice and lacy. So we're going to do that. And when I'm using this glue, I try to kind of like put the spout up against the paper so that not too much glue comes out. It's real easy for a lot of glue to come out. So I just try to do that. And so I'm just going to line this up with the side of my page here on that straight edge. And then there we go, like that. Yeah. Now I'm going to be folding this like this, and so I'm gonna try to match it up like that, and well, no, that's not what I was gonna do. I'm gonna do it this way. I'm actually gonna fold it along the edge and at this top. So I'm gonna try to just fold it. I'm trying to preserve the rest of this paper. I could come in and just go ahead and cut that off. In fact, let me do that. Okay, so I went and cut this. So I have that left, and I can use that for something else later. And then now I can work with it a little bit easier. And I have that piece left over. So I just kind of fold it right at the edge of the top of the card as close as I can and do that. Now, if I wanted, I could come and let's see what that will look like if I did another little punch now that I've folded that like that. Let me see what it would look like if I punched this one. It might be hanging down just a little bit longer, but it'll be an interesting lacy edge as you hold your little journaling card here. So So see, isn't that pretty? It's kind of gave it a layered look. Isn't that pretty? So let me ink it. Now see, that didn't come to me until I saw it hanging that far down, and that's what gave me the idea to do another punch. So that's just a pretty, that's really pretty now when you pull it out to do some journaling on it. So I am going to ink all the way around it. Other things you can do with this, you could actually make a little booklet and sew some more paper. You know, you could cut this into strips and then sew a few extra pieces of paper in there and make a little booklet out of it. That would be cute. But for the purposes of this particular page layout, I'm not going to do that. I am going to just leave it like that, and I'm going to just kind of lift this up and gently slide it in. And then it's going to be, I'm going to leave it hanging like that. And you can kind of do it sideways, or you could do it that way, however you want it. And you can arrange it once you get all your pieces in. So here's my other little piece of ephemera there. And here is my pretty little tag. And then I've got my little overhang here. The other thing I had thought about doing is, and see that you can just pull that out when you're ready. I like things when they hang over a pocket like that. Then the other thing I thought about doing to kind of fancy up this, and this is, like I say, usually something that I would wait and do at the end, add any embellishing and stuff like that, is I thought it would be pretty to put a little bit of lace there, and that just kind of adds you some textile and fancies up that belly band just a little bit. So it looks like this is pretty even, and it will end at where it indents right here. So that looks like a good place to cut that. And I'm going to put that to the side. And I might need my glasses to see what side of the lace I like the best. I'm sure there is a right and a wrong. Let me see how it's coming off the spool. It's coming off the spool like that. Like that. So I will turn that. But a lot of times I'll just look and see which one I like the best. Yes, I do think that is the front there. So I'm going to actually put some glue on the edge of these, of the ends here, just so they don't fray. And I'll probably put a few little dollops or just little dabs of glue here. Just a little, just to adhere it down. Some people may say that they want to use a, like this lace as like its own little belly band. You could do that. There's just so many things that you can do. And I kept telling the group that I, showed how to did like a introduction to journal making, basically, is what you could call it. I kept saying to them that, there's so many things you can do, and that's what I was trying to convey to them, is that, there's no one right way to decorate a journal or to create a journal layout. It's all in what you want. So like if I had not put glue under here, you could tuck other things under there. But I actually just kind of wanted that to just be a decorative element. And then you can put that over there like that. And then you could tier these and put these in here any way that you want. So that is my other layout that I wanted to share with you. And like I say, there still may be some other things. I might come in and put a lace tab up here just to decorate that up a little bit. That kind of thing. There's always that decorating that you do later on, last minute things that you think, I feel like this page needs one other thing. So that's what we're going to do with that. Now, I did want to do, I'm going to skip out just a little bit because I wanted to do, I'm going to skip ahead. because when I figure out what I want to do, that's when I start decorating, and I go ahead and get that done. This little area here, I'm going to have a pocket, and I'm going to make a little card catalog, kind of that Dewey Decimal System card catalog thing. I've got some of those that are vintage, and I'm going to create some things on those later and tuck that in there. So this is going to be a pocket, but I haven't done that yet. So right here, when we turn the page, then we've got this little element here, that pretty pattern paper, and I just thought I would add another layer of something really pretty. And so what I thought I would do is I stamped out with one of my stamps this little thing here. I stamped it and backed it. I do need to ink that. Let me go ahead and do that. And then I also, this one's been inked, so that one's good. I've got that, and then what I was gonna do was create, I have like a little corner pocket. I'm gonna ink that, and I'm gonna create a cute little tuck area here that you can, I'm gonna put that like that, and then I'm gonna tuck that there, so you can pull this out. And I'm going to stamp notes on that. So let's just get busy and we'll do it. But it's going to be sitting here, and I just thought that would be really a pretty little layering element for this layout. So let me go ahead and ink the other. I'm going to do 2 of them while we're sitting here. And I went on ahead and folded me a pink piece here. So I'm just going to cut that out. And that's what I do. I usually just fold a corner over, and then I cut it out, and then I ink it. So we're gonna go ahead and ink these. Did I already do that? Yep, I did. Ooh, I'm fast. I didn't realize I did both of them. Okay. I'm not normally fast like that. I leave that for my friends. Carol Laws, she's one of my friends, and I call her Zippity Quick Laws because she's so fast. And then my other sweet friend, Carol Toller Farney, I call her Fast Fingers Farney because she gets to making journals and she's super fast. So now I've told their little nicknames that I have given them. I've had those names out there for them for a long time. The other thing I'm going to do while I have these cards here, I'm just going to go ahead and put the journal aside and just keep these elements, is I'm going to stamp out notes. And I may stamp it out with this. I got a little scrap piece of paper here I could test it on to see what color I like the best. So let me pull out my T, E, and S. S came out on its own. I love to stamp out notes on something. I just think it's cute. And okay, so here's my N, and here is this is walnut stain, so it's a little bit darker. And I actually like that. I'm probably gonna like that automatically because this was stamped, this little element was stamped in black, so I'm gonna just do that instead of the vintage photo this time. So I do like that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it, I thought about putting it kind of right here, but it doesn't really matter. You can do one that way, or you could do one in. O, T, E, S. And that's pretty neat for me. It takes me lots of practice, but if it's not, anytime I do that, and if it's a little off, it just adds character and charm to it, in my opinion. I don't have to have it perfect. I really don't. Now there is a limit. I mean, it can't be crazy. If it's too crazy, I have to figure something else out or make me another one. Yeah, that E is a little low, but like I say, I think that adds a little charm. Yep, it does. See? Notes. Okay, so I'm going to put these up. That. I like to get all these back in place because I don't want to lose them. And the fact that I have actually always made sure I put my, now they're not alphabetical. I don't do that. I don't have time for that. But if they're all in there, I'm good. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, everything's been inked, and all I have to do is make a decision on what design pattern I like with this one. This is a little bird that has some pink flowers there, and I thought that was pretty. And you tuck that in, and you got notes. Or do I want this? That's kind of pretty. I don't know. This is the part where you have to learn to start making decisions, and I'm just not, that is kind of pretty. Not good at making decisions. I do like that. I always thought I'd use this side, but I think I'm gonna do that side, believe it or not. Okay, so now that I've decided, now you can actually, you don't have to have a flip up if you don't want it, but this will, once it's glued in, be a flip up for any kind of journaling somebody might want to do. They can journal on this, and they'll be able to journal on the back of that. So since I've made my decision, I'm gonna have a flip up. I'm gonna go ahead and put my glue, I'm gonna put my glue along this little edge, and I'm gonna try to just do that little edge, and then this one there. And I'm going to put this like this. Now I'm putting it just inside that right there. And just make sure it's straight. And then I'm going to open it up so that the flap doesn't get glued. And I'm going to do the same thing with my green one. Let's put some glue on this one. So here we go here, just inside these lines, because I wanted my border to kind of show. So just like that. So that's where we'll be journaling. And then this here. And this was the card that was going to go in here. I am going to let that, not going to put it all the way down yet because I don't want my card to get glued in because that glue is not dry yet. So that's going to go there. And then the other thing I was going to do was put like a little silk flower here to decorate. So even that won't even show that much by the time I get my flower on there, and put a little button on it. So let's do that. So hold tight and let me get those. Okay. And let me get a button. Get me some buttons. All right, I think the one I want is kind of a cream color. And a lot of times I will do double these up. And these are my little silk flowers here. Now, yeah. So let's just play around here. I put that there, and then I try to put it, oop, there's two here. Woo, there we go. So I'll try to do that to just make a pretty little flower. And then here, and like that. Get a little flower there. And let's get a button that will work. He has, whoop, button overboard. Everything hits this floor. Let's see here. I'm kind of like trying to pick little buttons that are a little flatter. Like here's a pretty pink one, and it's a little flat there. So that would be pretty for that one. And maybe I need, ooh, you could, oh man, I had a button. and I lost it. It was perfect. Hold on. Well, let's see what this one is. That one's kind of got a little peachiness to it, which brings out the orange there and that little guy. So let's just go with that. And you know, I usually try to pick up the buttons where the profile is a little bit flatter, not as bulky, but I do not mind fun little, you know, some bulkiness with elements and stuff. So now I'm going to glue these. Oh, these are cute. I'm tickled, tickled, tickled. So I'm just going to put a little dab of glue on the back of this right here so that it will adhere to this little flower. And what I do is I turn. If there's a seam right here with no petal, that's where I put when I'm layering, I'm going to put the petals so that they're kind of got more coverage there. We'll do the same thing with, it's sticking to me. I'm going to do the same thing with this. Just little dab of glue there, and I am putting a petal where that seam is. So I am putting a petal there. So I just do it like that. And then I'm going to put my buttons on, and so I'm just going to put a little glue in the middle. Doesn't have to be a lot. Try not to do too much, enough to make it stick, but then it ends up oozing through the holes a little bit, but that's okay. It'll get set. And then this one, turn that a little bit, and then here we're going to do this. Just a little there. And then I got my button, see the back of it will be here. Oh, this is so cute. Okay, so then I'm going to put my little flower here. Just a little of glue right there, and then we will put that there. And then here, just a little dab there, and then I'm going to put that right here. There we go. So these will flip up, and that one, I might need to turn this around because that petal was a little long, and that way when you open it, you're not going to have too much trouble. And you will have a button under there to write on, but you can just be real careful with it and everything. It's just too cute not to put them on there, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes the decoration is more important than the journaling, haha. Okay, so here are my cute little tags that I have made, journal cards, I should say. I will be sewing around them once I start all that. And so that you can see what it looks like in my journal, or what this is going to look like, then I will, you know, come along and just have this paper clipped. I may end up using a different color paper clip or something, and then there you have that. So then you have this cute element when you come to this page, this layout. You have some interest and some layering, and then we'll get to the other later, and this will go in my other journal. So I hope you like that, like I say. And then, you know, so then we have this fun little element here that we created with our belly band, and then we have created these two little cards, journal cards, that are really, really cute and fun, and these flip up so you can write on them, and you'll be able to write on the back of this, and the back of that journal card. So lots of journaling space in this little cute little journal cards there. So I hope you like it, and I will be back soon for another installment of Starting a New Journal Craft with me. I hope you all are doing great. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.